Well, it's time to get started. As I look at the other screen here and I see what's available for this module, there are a couple of things I'd like to emphasize. First of all, it's important that we spend some time talking about organization before you start uploading content and then decide that it's not the way that you want it organized. Then there's a lot of rework that needs to happen. Um, so let's forget the bells and whistles for right now, and let's talk about how to get an online course site organized. Um, so often, as a matter of fact, one time I was asked by a superintendent to evaluate a website done by a couple of social studies teachers working with each other. I took a look at the website and I told the superintendent that if I wanted to give this website a grade, I probably would give it a C plus, even though it was a tremendous site in terms of uploaded content. But that's all it was, a content repository. Um, so think big picture for a minute and think what you want to, remember our essential question. That's the key. Um, so the first step, or one of the first steps, therefore, is for you to have a Moodle shell to work on. This is your project, and your Moodle administrator can set that up for you. Or if you're not sure who that person is, let me know and I can do that for you. Then you'll have to configure your shell. Think of this in terms of preparing your classroom before your students show up in the fall. The same thing has to happen online. You need to take a look at the shell that we've provided for you. It's an empty shell, just like an empty classroom. And then you need to configure that according to your goals and priorities. And that's why we need to think organize first, put content up later. The course that you're in right now, my course, the Moodle course, you can use that as a model. So take a look, scroll right through the entire course, and you'll see how I've set it up in terms of units or modules or parts or sections or whatever you want to call the different components of your own course. It's important that you do that in your mind and maybe even on paper before you configure your shell. Um, It could be that once you look at the design that I use, you might want an entirely different design. That's okay. I don't pretend to have the only design. Um, but it's worked for me, and it's worked for me for years. And I've known lots of teachers who have organized their own courses in the same way with great success. But do some thinking. That's your choice. Develop your own design. And once you know where you want to go, then we can talk about uploading content and forums and interactivity within your course shell. So first, get your course shell set up. Organize in your own mind, on paper if you need to. Develop a design that is going to work for you. Configure your shell according to the instructions that are provided. And again, as I look at the course site on my other screen, I see that there's a document in the course site called How to Configure Your Moodle Shell. If you follow that, it's a real cookbook style, so you can't miss. If you do, you can use the forum to get help or email me if you like. There's also a forum, a discussion forum, so that you can collaborate with your colleagues as you develop this very important first step. That's it for this module. See you online.